Today is Wednesday. It is the 19th of November, 2014, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Good morning to you there. I hope you're doing well. On this Wednesday, middle of the week already, where did the time go? And I can't believe it's the 19th of November.
I know, already. The month of November is flying by. Holidays are almost upon us.
And when does the mayor swip the flitch?
He flips that switch.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
It took me a minute after I heard you say it like that. Tuesday, November the 25th, next week.
That's next week.
Next Tuesday, 5 o'clock, join us downtown Goldsboro. Lighting up of downtown, free trolley rides. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a fun night. Entertainment on the steps of City Hall. That'll last from 5 until 8 o'clock. Yeah, 5 to 8.
That works.
Yep. Then we'll have other events happening downtown. And don't forget, go downtown, eat at some of our local restaurants. We've got a couple that are relatively new opening up downtown. I want to say thank you to each and every one of our merchants that continue to work with us through the construction. It's a process.
It is a process.
But all the businesses are open.
And let me tell you something. Yes, they are. All of the businesses are open in spite of the fact that there's a little construction going on. And I know for the time being that it's a little inconvenient.
Right.
But in the long run, this is really going to pay off. It's going to be so nice and so beautiful. I'm telling you.
And they're replacing so much infrastructure as we move down all of Center Street. So this will be a great looking place, but also a great working place.
And they're going to be replacing some of the power lines and the water lines that really are in need of replacement. So why not go ahead and do that now?
All at one time.
That's a good thing. All right.
It sure is.
And you know what? We do have some really nice restaurants downtown.
Oh my goodness, we certainly do. Really? You know, we've got a new restaurant that's opened up not too long ago, Ed's.
Yes.
Which is the old Central Lunch location.
Right.
And Ed is Ed Cogdell, and he's from Goldsboro, along with his parents, his grandparents, at least 3 generations.
And they've all had businesses downtown or around the area somewhere.
I believe his grandfather was Cogdell's Cycle Shop.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So check out his place, and the old Central Lunch, been totally remodeled, looks completely different. It's got lots of good food. I've been hearing some really good things about the shrimp and grits.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I've heard a lot of good things about just the restaurant in general.
Me too, and I hear it is beautiful, great customer service. But we have lots of good restaurants downtown, so take advantage of them all through the holidays. But November 25th is a great opportunity. A
great opportunity. That's great. Look forward to it. Downtown lights up and all. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Always is.
And don't forget the symphony.
The symphony starts at 8. Paramount Theater, but there's only a few tickets left, so get your tickets now. You can call the Paramount, or you can go on their website, GoldsboroParamount.com.
There you go. Wow. All right. The 19th of November is also American Made Matters Day.
It does.
Yes.
Things made in America.
Yes. It's also GIS Day. Don't ask me how to spell it. GIS.
Well, we have that here in the city.
Yeah, we do.
The county.
We do. We have
the GIS system.
We've got GIS system in the city and the county. Geographic Information Systems. It is their day.
That's exactly
Today is also Have a Bad Day.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that.
Let's ignore that piece.
We're going to ignore that one. It's International Men's Day, so if you're an international man, it's your day. Hey. Today is Rocky and Bullwinkle Day. Hey, Rocky. Never mind that. Anyway, it's Rocky and Bullwinkle Day. It's also World Turlet Day.
World what?
Turlet.
Turlet. What is that?
T-O-I-L-E-T.
Do you know what that is?
T-O-I-L-E-T?
No.
I think I do.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, my goodness. We're not going to go there.
It's also Women's Entrepreneurship Day.
Oh, my goodness. You know, you just don't ever know.
You just never know, do you? Okay, all right, no you don't.
Reminding you, Jimmy Fortune is going to be in concert at the Paramount coming up.
What a great guy.
Saturday, November the 22nd. Get your tickets now. It starts at 7 p.m. and general admission is $22. Remember, Jimmy Fortune toured and sang and performed and was a part of the Statler Brothers for 21 years. Sure was. And he's going to be here in Goldsboro at the Paramount Theater. Get your tickets through GoldsboroParamount.com or give him a call.
He does a great show.
Absolutely, right here in Goldsboro.
Coming up after the interviews, I'll tell you where the Statler Brothers got their name.
Perfect. Stay with us.
We're very honored to have the Honorable Judge Arnold Jones with us this morning. Hey!
Wayne, good morning.
Man, I am glad you're here.
It's great to be here with you.
All right, so are you playing baseball now? Have you gone to the Yankees or what?
I wish I had. The good thing is I couldn't have hurt them but so much this year.
Well, yeah, that's the good news. But wait till next year, right?
Well, next year I hit a new decade, so I think I'm at that retirement cusp now, so they lost their opportunity. But I'm looking forward to how they'll do next year, maybe a little better than they did this year. Can't be much worse.
You are the resident judge, Superior Court here in Wayne County, or more than Wayne County, right?
No, just Wayne County.
Just Wayne County.
Just Wayne County. Wayne County's enough.
Yeah. District 8B.
Correct.
Is that right? Now, what does that cover? What does 8B cover?
Wayne County is it.
That is it, huh?
That's it.
But you, from time to time, you travel to other areas.
I've been traveling for the last 2 years. Superior Court judges rotate every 6 months, and so this past 6 months I have been in Wilmington and getting ready to finish that stint in December. Before that, I was in New Bern and Beaufort for 6 months.
Wow.
And so we travel within a division for the most part, which extends. Northwestern part is Wayne County.
Right.
Southeastern would be New Hanover, which is Wilmington's the county seat. And Southwestern would be Beaufort.
Who makes the decision where you go, and who says, Judge Jones, you need to go to Wilmington?
That's the Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court.
Oh, well, you don't want to mess with him.
No. He's not necessarily my boss, but he does tell me where I need to go. So, which, I've been told that about some others.
I understand. Okay, we won't even go there. We won't go there.
But no, they schedule us, and so some weeks I still get sent back home. In fact, doing this interview, obviously, I'm in Goldsboro this particular week.
That you are.
And I enjoy when I can come home and be with the home folks.
Well, look, I've been wanting you to come by here and talk to us, but you're such a busy guy, and I really appreciate you coming in today to talk to us.
Oh, I love it.
I want to
thank you for having me.
I want to try. Thank you. Quite welcome. I want to try and keep this quite simple because I'm a simple person. A lot of people may not understand the differences between Superior Court and the other courts. What are the differences?
There are some basic distinctions, but everybody that has a robe, that robe is a robe.
Right.
Okay? My robe is no different than any other judge's, but I will tell you, district court, most people are familiar with that because district court has the most volume. District court deals with, in the criminal realm, misdemeanors, and whereas Superior Court, the primary jurisdiction in the criminal court is felonies.
Right.
So, and there are more misdemeanors committed than felonies.
Right.
So there's a high volume. We don't have the volume, but in Superior Court we have the jury trials, which they don't have in district court.
Right.
So it's a more time-consuming trial than it would be in district court.
It might, if there is such a thing, you might consider it to be more serious offenses.
I guess that all depends who's charged.
I guess
when
so.
I remember when I was a teenager and I got a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
That was pretty serious.
Well, no.
So everything is serious.
Yes.
But the punishment for felonies, most of the time, is more severe than the punishment for a misdemeanor. Yeah. And hence we have jury trials, and that's probably why. But district court, they deal with domestic issues, and there's nothing more complex or probably trying on a judge having practiced law than having to try a domestic case. Now we don't do that in Superior Court, and I'm thankful for that.
Well, right, okay.
But the district court has to tangle with those issues. Yeah. So those are some complex issues too. So I guess we all get a kick at the can, and my kick at the can comes in the form of malpractice cases or murder cases or drug cases along those lines.
Does a particular case come to mind that you consider to be a little bigger than life than the others, or what comes to mind?
Wayne, anything dealing with children.
Oh boy.
To me is gut-wrenching. And so I think as people are watching and listening, they may think, well, a defendant who commits the crime, but also you'll have children who commit crimes. And I say children, 16, 17-year-olds in North Carolina are treated as adults. And those to me can also be gut-wrenching because a lot of times the kid that's 16 and 17 doesn't have the parental kick in the rear at home, as I like to call it. Yeah. Doesn't have the guidance a lot of times. And so trying to reach a balance with a child defendant is challenging. And then, of course, anytime a child has been harmed by a sexual act, that to me is just gut-wrenching.
I don't know how you do it. Personally, let me offer this. I have seen in the courthouse here, this office is in the courthouse. In the courthouse, I often will see young men, 15, 16, 17 years of age, dressed in the orange jumpsuit, handcuffed, shackles on the ankles. That breaks my heart. I have no idea what they have done. They have obviously broken the law, or they've been accused of breaking the law, or they allegedly broke the law, and they're here either going to court or they're on the way to jail. And I tell you, that breaks my heart. And I don't know anything about these young people.
Well, you don't know, it's like my dad used to tell me, you don't know somebody's situation until you walked in their shoes. And, but you know, my job is to apply the law.
Yes.
And, but there's a human element. I like to say in the courtroom, I'm as human as anyone, and or more so sometimes. Yeah. But it is challenging. But you know, you go in there and what I do, I say a prayer, give it deep thought, do the best that I can, and then feel like at the end of the day that hopefully we've done the right thing and treated people fairly. I know a lot of times I'll ask a young person, Wayne, do you want grace or do you want justice?
Okay.
And they'll look at me like, what's that? And I'll say, well, do you know what that means? You know, and they'll say no. And I say, well, justice is getting what you deserve and grace is getting what you don't. And so then, of course, the answer is real quickly, give me grace.
Right, of course.
And the way I was brought up and my beliefs, for me to receive grace, I think sometimes we have to be able to consider giving it too. And that's the challenge, when to do that and when to not, and how much to give people a second chance and sometimes not give that second chance. It's a challenging situation.
Well, on a personal note, as a rebellious youth, I ended up in front of a judge one time that gave me a second chance. And it was not a terribly serious offense, but it scared the heck out of me enough that I kind of went the straight and narrow after that. And thank goodness for second chances, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they're deserved.
That's true.
It's deserved.
I always talk to our jurors. It's really interesting, and a lot of you know, get a chance to serve as a juror, and people say, I don't want to do that. But then when you get the chance and actually get involved in the process, people will always tell me, you know, I'm glad I got that opportunity. Yeah. And this past week, even as you say that, I was talking to jurors about how trials go, and sometimes sentencing is difficult. And this juror, he's a grown man, stood up and said, let me tell you, Judge Jones was my judge. I went before him, and he gave me a chance. And now I own my own business. I'm doing well. I'm off drugs, and you know, sometimes that happens. And hopefully, wow. But what I see a real a concern I have from the bench is the changing in some of the laws and the punishments, and I'm hopeful and concerned that our society is protected. I'm concerned about people taking it as a real serious event in their life when they commit a crime, and I wonder sometimes if people really take things as serious as they should.
You were an attorney for 17 years.
Sure.
And you were elected nonpartisan
right.
to the Superior Court, which was also the position your dad held.
That's true.
Tell me about your dad.
Oh man, the greatest guy
yeah.
ever. Greatest guy ever. He was unique in a lot of ways. I'll just start off by saying that nobody loved to laugh more than my daddy. Nobody got as serious as my daddy. He was not a lawyer, and a lot of people know that, a lot of people don't, but he was the only Superior Court judge we ever had in North Carolina that I'm aware of that was not a lawyer.
That's amazing, because he had an amazing reputation of being
sure.
fair and being a very good judge.
Sure, and I just try to do that every day myself, and maybe somewhere along the way I'll get close to that. But he set a great example for, and my mother too. You
Yes.
know, a lot of times people will talk about my daddy,
Mm-hmm.
but my mama is a very special lady, and between the two of them, they really instilled some hard work ethic in their two boys, and we listen most of the time. And my brother, he's done well.
I was going to ask you about Kevin.
Kevin's doing great.
Yeah.
Very proud of Kevin. Kevin serves as a magistrate in another county, and he's done really well with his career. And I'm very thankful for my parents. I'm very thankful for the opportunity the Lord's given me to serve the folks here at Wayne County. I really am.
You had mentioned jurors a few minutes ago. What makes a good juror?
One with an open mind, one that will listen and give both sides an opportunity to be heard, and then one, after doing that, that will listen to the judge, and if it's me or whichever judge, and follow the law. And something that goes in every instruction, every charge is apply the law as it is, not as you'd like it to be or as you think it ought to be. And I think that's true. A lot of people think, well, I don't like this particular law, and I'll usually use two illustrations, and they're only illustrations. I will say, you know, how many of you really enjoy paying taxes on April 15th? And not many people raise their hand. You know, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'll say, well, it's the law, though, and you got to follow the law.
Right.
And then I'll also say there are probably stretches of highway where you don't think you should drive as slow as you do, but if you don't, what happens? The blue light comes, right? So you have to follow those laws. And those are examples, but everybody has to follow the law as they're given as a juror, and when that happens, I believe justice works. We've got a new law that just was voted on, of course you're probably aware of it, where now defendants in certain situations can waive jury trials.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see.
That, it is going to be interesting to see how that works out.
It will be.
Can it be changed back?
If the people vote on it, you can
Okay.
always amend the Constitution, but it takes a vote of the people.
Well, let's see how it works out.
So, but it's more of an elective choice on the part of the defendant. It's not an automatic, and I just don't know that how much it will be exercised or not exercised. I'm a firm believer in our Constitution as it is, and our Constitution gives us all the opportunity to a trial by jury.
Yes,
and,
it does. Yeah.
Some folks have a different view of the Constitution. That's the great thing about living in the United States, isn't it? You can
It is.
see things like you
is.
want to, but I see things the way I see it, and, but we'll see how that works out.
Well, I love the Constitution as well, so there you go. All right, well, our guest today, and look, I know how busy you are. You need to get back to doing whatever you do.
I could talk all day, Wayne.
We could, so we'll do a show. You probably could.
We'll do an Arnie and Wayne show one of
We'll
these
do an
days.
Arnie and Wayne,
I'll come
yeah.
in the morning, we'll get donuts and coffee. And,
All right, you notice Arnie came first
Well,
in that Arnie and Wayne, because
I need all the help I can get. Wayne's great to see you.
always great to see you. Judge Arnold Jones, the Honorable Jones of Superior Court here in Wayne County. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Have you heard what's happening at the Paramount Theater downtown Goldsboro? Well, in the month of November, we have lots to choose from, a little something for everyone. And joining me in the studio today is Sherry Archibald, Director of the Paramount, here to give us an update. Welcome back, Sherry.
Hey, Kim.
So November is busy as always.
It is. Well, it really just kind of is nonstop between that September to December and then mid-January to mid-June. It's just every weekend. So a lot of good things coming up. A weekend packed, and then of course the symphony, which is always one of everyone's favorites. So I did want to talk about some of those great things coming up.
Yeah, so give us a rundown of what's happening in November, because I brag about this all the time. There's something for everyone. If there's not something this month, if you wait till next month or next weekend even,
Right.
though, you'll have a totally different package for you to be able to go enjoy with your family. So tell us what's happening.
Well, thank you, and I think that is kind of one of our, hopefully one of our claim to fames that I certainly hope our community sees, is it's a very diverse list of activities coming up. So on the 21st, Friday night, we have the second show in the Wayne Community Concert Series, which is Jason Coleman, and he is performing, he's a pianist performing Floyd Kramer music, so that will be wonderful. And this, unfortunately, is the closing of their series. Wayne Community Concerts has been around for more than 75 years.
75
it
years.
is strictly operated by volunteers, and they have worked tirelessly for years and years and years. but they are ending their series, and they will not have any more after this. And so this year is their last year.
Wow.
And I think, you know, it's been bittersweet. They do a great job, but when you're completely operated through volunteers, it's hard. Also, there's just been a lot of new sales tax that really are confining on what you can and can't do. It restricts funding, and it also restricts it when you have volunteers, because that's certainly an accounting duty that is has to fall on someone. So that's been a bit challenging for them, but they have just done an excellent job for our community for more than 75 years.
They have, and we want to say thank you so much to them and to all those volunteers through the years for what they've done to provide some kind of performing arts for our community at a very low cost.
Since we've reopened, we've loved having them. They always rent the theater and have their performances there, so it's been such a pleasure to work with each of them too. So I do thank them for that also. On the 21st is their second show in their series. They will have 2 more for this year, so folks can certainly, you can get your membership, which is much cheaper, or you can, now that we're selling tickets for them, you can buy them the week of instead of waiting till the night of. You can buy them the week of. So certainly take a look on our website, and I'll be giving information on that too. But you can find out about their performance that's coming up as well. So that's on Friday the 21st. On the 22nd, we've got a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Fontaine, who was a former Statler brother.
Yes.
And he's been here before. And folks, it was just wonderful. People would call and say, do you really have, I'm sorry, not Fontaine, Fortune, Jimmy Fortune.
Jimmy Fortune,
do you really have Jimmy Fortune coming to perform there? They were so excited. He is just amazing. So when you think about the Statler brothers, which is a very common name in our music history, he has written a lot of their music and performed with them for a number of years. He is going to be there on the 22nd. He is also doing some great things. This has been brought to us to help support Toys for Tots.
I heard
so
about
all the
that.
proceeds will go there. Folks are welcome to and encouraged to bring toys. They'll have a box there that night on the 22nd.
Excellent.
So you can purchase your tickets. They're selling their tickets through the box office. So I would definitely encourage people to do that. Wonderful performance. That will be on the 22nd.
Not that often we have somebody like him coming to Goldsboro, so we should definitely, if you're interested in that type music, he is a great one to see.
Really
I know Wayne and I have been talking about it quite a bit, about him coming. And
he's just got such a great, well, obviously, storytelling. I mean, it's just in his music, it's wonderful. So that is on the 22nd. And the 25th, you've probably been talking about too. And
we have.
I'll talk a little bit about that, but I'll start out by saying we only have a few tickets left for the North Carolina Symphony. So if our viewers are listening and plan to attend that night,
get those tickets now,
you want to go ahead and go online. I know, for example, on the balcony, when I left today to come and meet with you, I think we had 5 left in the balcony.
Oh my goodness.
So they're just about gone. There are some left downstairs. The balcony is one of the favorites for the symphony.
It is, I know, such a great view.
But it's there's not a bad seat in the house. So certainly I would encourage people to call. It does start at 8 o'clock because, as you know, there are lots of wonderful activities happening before then with downtown turning their lights on for the holidays. So we're excited about that.
We've just bragged about it and said make it a whole night. You know, start at 5 o'clock downtown with lighting up, with all the fun activities that are happening there. Then go eat at one of our great restaurants downtown, and then hop right over to the Paramount and end your night with the North Carolina Symphony.
I love the tradition that whole night is to so many families, mine included.
Mine too, I love it.
It's a lot of fun, and it is one of the favorites. So we're looking forward to it, and like I said, it is on the way to be sold out. So
glad I've already got my tickets.
Good, you did well. But I would encourage our viewers to go to our website, which is goldsboroparamount.com. Or they can call us at 919-583-8432. Knowing our great support here is probably going to be posted right here while we're talking. But they can call us and we'll be glad to answer any questions and process tickets over the phone with a credit card too.
So that is a full list of opportunities, very diverse.
Yes.
The month of November at the Paramount. And that's just, that's 1 month.
It is, and I'll be back later. We'll talk about December because that is so busy that we need another segment to talk about that.
Oh yeah, so stay tuned and you'll hear all about what's happening in December soon. But thank you, Sherry. That's the whole month of November, goldsboroparamount.com. You can find out more about what's happening right there at your downtown local theater. Lots to choose from. Thank you for being with us, and this is WGTV Today. And we're back.
We are indeed back. The Statler brothers, Jimmy Fortune is going to be in town. Let me tell you, I have seen him in concert. He certainly does a wonderful show.
He'll be here this Saturday night.
He will. You know, the Statler brothers retired several years ago, and when they did, Jimmy kind of went out on his own. He and his wife were in Goldsboro a couple of years ago for the Purple Heart banquet that was held here at that time, which is held every year, by the way. But he was here for that particular event, and just wowed the audience. He's just such a great American. He is truly. And talk about a beautiful voice. He's the tenor. He was the tenor for the Statler brothers. And the Statler brothers, I think they're from Stanton, Virginia. They were traveling, and this was back when before Lou DeWitt died, of course, but they were already a quartet, and they didn't really know, they needed a name, and they didn't know what to do, so they were in the Statler Hotel. And they looked over at a box of Kleenex. Or not, actually, they were just tissues. They weren't Kleenex, but they were tissues with the Statler name on it. And they
just chose that randomly?
Said, yeah, I think it was Harold, the guy that sang bass, who was really kind of the goofy one, to whom I can relate. But he's the guy that said, you know, it's a good thing they didn't have a box of Kleenex there, or they'd have been the Kleenex brothers.
Yes, they would.
But anyway, besides all that, the Statler brothers got their name from a box of tissues.
Well, that is interesting. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Today, the Red Cross Bloodmobile will be at Mount Olive University. University of Mount Olive with a blood drive today beginning at 10:30 this morning.
I want to remind you, we were talking earlier about today is GIS Day.
Yes.
We now have put the app or the icon for the GIS system in the city on the city's website, right there along with our YouTube and our Facebook and everything else. So when you are interested in finding out more about the city GIS system, and can you tell them what GIS is?
A Geographic Information System. It's a map. It's kind of a mapping system.
Right.
That's really
you do it through your mobile phone. Mm-hmm. You do it through your mobile phone.
Yes, you do it through your mobile phone. It's an app that you put on your phone, your smartphone, and through that you can do all kinds of things.
You can see a problem and report a problem.
You can see a problem and report a problem. Where have I heard that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But GIS, if you want to find out more about it, you can go to the city or the county's website, but on the city's website, it's right there on the home page. Click on the GIS.
That's it, GIS. And it's, well, anyway, click on it and you'll figure it out. It's going to ask you to join, which means that you put in, and it doesn't cost anything. No. It's free of charge. But you'll need to put in some information, and it's perfectly safe.
It is, and the reason they ask you to put in the information is so say you're reporting that there is a stop sign down that has fallen down. If you report that or take a picture of it and upload it, or either you can just map it and say this is where I am, right here at this particular point, it will let you know once you've reported it and turned it in, it will give you an email back saying that has been taken care of. We want to make sure you're aware and stay in contact with what's happening with the problems that you report here in the community.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Now, birthdays for today.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, it's GIS311.org.net.com. There you go.
That's 311gis.com.
But you'll get all that when you go to the link.
Yes, you will.
Okay, Larry King's having a birthday today.
How old is he?
Born this day, 1933. That makes him, what, 81?
Happy birthday, Larry.
Jack Welch, the chairman, former CEO of General Electric, was born 2 years after King. Dick Cavett, TV show talk show host, a very, very intelligent guy. Dick Cavett, born this day, 1936. Dan Haggerty. You ever heard of Gentle Ben?
Yes.
The bear? Okay. Dan Haggerty was the star of that particular TV show. He's also an animal trainer, of course, The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams. Also, Calvin Klein, born this day. You ever heard of him?
I think we have.
1942 it was. Kathleen Quinlan, 1954. She's an actress. Glenys O'Connor, actress, born in 56. Allison Janney, born in 59. Meg Ryan, born this day, 1961. Jodie Foster.
Wow, a lot of people born today.
Yeah, 1962. Terry Farrell. Remember Becker on TV?
Yeah.
Terry Farrell was on Becker. She played the person who owned the coffee shop.
Okay.
Very pretty lady. 1963, and Erica Alexander of The Cosby Show, Judging Amy, and a bunch of other stuff, Fathers and Sons, Living Single, 1969.
Well, happy birthday if it's your special day.
There you go.
And I believe that is a wrap for today, Mr. Alley.
It is a wrap.
Yes, it is.
All right, now while we wrap our way out of this, we'll be back in here tomorrow at this particular time. Join us then. Or if you happen to miss this show and you don't realize it, then join us again later in the day. The show repeats. So until tomorrow, on Wayne Goldsboro Television, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. And this is what's happening in your community.